So thank you for giving the opportunity. Okay, so now my topic is I'll go a little fast. So defense priming in rice, that is an innovative approach to enhance bacterial bite resistance in rice. So generally, okay, so I will introduce the topic in brief. So rice bacterial blight is one of the most severe disease of rice, both the cultivated rice, whether it is Oryza sativa or Oryza glabrima across the world. This is the most inflicted disease of rice, which cause the yield loss up to 75%. When there is a severe disease, it may go up to 100%. So you can see the disease impact in the field, and this is the pathogen which is responsible for the disease, which is known as Xanthomonas oryzae, PV oryzae. So there has been several approach to tackle this disease, including conventional breeding, marker-assisted breeding, chemical control, as well as pesticides. Even people are using pesticides. However, current trend focus on environmental friendly manner, and they want to keeping the environment in mind and keeping the consumer in mind. Everybody is liking environmental friendly way to tackle the problems. So as an interest, biological control has increased to overcome chemical expenses and negative impact of the surrounding environment. Therefore, recently, products of plant origin have become immensely important as a better substitute for the chemical pesticides. Moreover, products of plant origin are systemic, non-phytotoxic, and readily biodegradable. And the active compound from the plant can act on the pathogen directly, or they can also induce resistance, which in turn can give the disease, which can in turn can reduce the disease development. So far, research has been done on using plant products, that is extract and oil, to treat different human pathogenic diseases. However, many bioactive compounds have been isolated so far, but none of them has been tested against the plant disease. Therefore, our objective was actually to use the plant extract, which are already established their antimicrobial activity either in human or in animals. So these were the plants which we have shortlisted based on the antimicrobial assay. So we decided with this plant to test how they are working with respect to the plant disease, particularly with the bacterial blight of rice. So our objective was to check the potential of different plant extract against bacterial blight disease in rice through enzyme induction at different time point, and then a quantitative phytochemical analysis of the core extract to evaluate the major secondary metabolites. So here we have used the crude extract. We have not purified any specific molecules. That I will discuss later. Why? So these were the plants, and these were the latitude and longitude from where we have collected the medicinal plant and with botanical. So what methodology we have adopted is we have taken the plants, we have cleaned it, grinding was done, and then maceration was done, powder one made, and then we have made two extract, aqueous extract and phenol extract, and then we have checked phytochemical investigation was carried out. At the same time, FTIR analysis was done to check the functional group, whether the functional group which is coming have any antimicrobial previously reported role or not. So then whatever extract we have, what we did, we have grown the rice seedlings, and 14 days old seedlings or a little more with the 4 or 5 leaves, we have sprayed with the extract. So we have a treated plant which has the extract, and then we have a plant treated with the distilled water. And then at different time point, we have inoculated with the dew through a leaf clipping method that was developed by Erie long back in 2002. And then we have harvested the leaf. First, we have scored the disease reason, okay, and then we have harvested the leaf, and we have checked antioxidant enzyme, total protein, lipid peroxidation, and so on. So based on the disease scoring, lesion one measure on 3rd day, 6th day, 9th day, and 12th day, and after treatment, they have been assessed whether they are highly susceptible, moderately susceptible, resistant, or highly resistant. And then with these leaves, we have also checked FV by FM ratio. FV by FM ratio actually measure the rate of photosynthesis based on the pigment that is still intact with the plant, mostly the chlorophyll fluorescence. So treated rice leaves were evaluated for lesion length on 3, 6, and 9 days. And this graph represents how. So in third day, you can see you have controlled little leaf lesion. But third day, actually, most of the lesion, whatever we are saying, that may be the impact of mostly the mechanical injury. But 6, 9, and 12th day onward, you can see that in control you have very high infection, okay, and then you can see the plant which are previously treated with the extract, they have reduced the lesion length. Okay, so the disease progression was reduced, okay, on all the starting from 6th, 9th, and 12th day. Okay, so this was, so somehow here we don't know what extract is actually doing, but we know but that the lesion length were stopped. It means they are doing something with either with the pathogen or they are either boosting the immunity of the plant itself. So then we, from this work, so and then we know from the review that the pre-treatment best protection against BB disease through plant extract before the infection can be linked to the priming effect in which plants prepare themselves for a rapid response to future spread, future stress, and this was reported in 2018. And according to reports, the stimulation of priming implicit memory influences the defense reaction to a subsequent pathogen attack, which involve the perception of a stimulus and production of defense-related biochemical responses. This was also reported, and we have used this paper idea in our work as well. So the finding presume that plant extract would reduce the incidence of bacterial infection by triggering resistance. But how? So, and then we have measured the pulse that is called palm. Using palm fluorometry, we have measured the rate of photosynthesis, and the palm fluorometry can be used to measure the photosynthetic performance in plant. Palm fluorometry can be used to monitor cell death in plant, which can be triggered by biotic stresses like pathogen. And then palm fluorometry can be used to study how organisms tolerate stress and adapt to the environmental challenge. So palm was used to evaluate the chlorophyll efflorescence on the 7th day, first of all. So chlorophyll efflorescence was more significant in all rice-treated sample compared to the control one. Okay, so and this was the increasing order. So actually, I'll explain how this works. So FV by FM ratio, if it is coming between 0.79 to 0.84, it means your plant is healthy. Okay, but if it is coming down, and coming down is directly proportional to the loss of the chlorophyll. So we can say that in control, we have in between or below 6 above. So below 6 indicate that this was the plant which was not pre-treated with the extract. So this has, and then it was infiltrated with the xanthomonas. It means it has damaged the leaf more when compared to the other plant where pre-treatment with the extract was carried out. So extract prevented the Jew infection, which restored chlorophyll efflorescence. However, control leaf exhibited severe infection, allowing the pathogen growth, which result in more damage to the photosynthetic tissue. Moreover, higher chlorophyll efflorescence in extracted rice leaves suggested the protection and maintenance of photosystem 2 actually from Jew destruction. Furthermore, the current finding can be a part of field trial to evaluate the extract efficacy under natural condition on a large scale. Estimation of defense-related enzymes. So, the efficacy of extract for defense enzyme production was evaluated by measuring glutathione peroxidase, catalase, superoxide dismutase, and glutathione reductase on different days. So, rice leaf treated with plant extract had a higher glutathione peroxidase activity than the control one. We can see here on 3rd, 6th, and 9th day, catalase activity was higher in the following order. So that Mexicana has the lowest, and whereas Shoria robusta has the highest activity. So similarly, highest SOD level was checked, and we found that E globulus, A Mexicana, and S robusta on 3rd, 6th, and 9th day has the higher activity. Controlled rice leaf sample activity was lower than the treated in rice leaf on each tested day. Similarly, GR activity was measured to check the reduction potential of excess oxidized glutathione. So it is well known that the pathogen stress causes excess ROS formation, which in turn damage plant cell through lipid peroxidation, degradation of chlorophyll, nucleic acid, and protein. To counter the ROS, plant evolved antioxidant enzyme defense system such as peroxidase, SOD, catalase, and GR. Among them, SOD is regarded as the first lines of defense against the ROS-induced oxidative damage. However, these enzymes work together and correlatively to counter pathogen-induced ROS effectively. So then we have checked the lipid peroxidation through malondihyde method, which is widely used as a marker indicating oxidative lipid injury response to a stress. Higher MDA level is directly associated with a stress condition. So MDA was higher on 9th day, we can see was higher in the control because the disease was increasing. So higher lipid peroxidation was measured on 9th day as the disease was progressing day by day. Then determination of phytochemical in the crude extract was also carried out. So to quantify the phytochemicals in plant extract, total phenol, tannin, flavonoids were estimated. Highest phenol was detected in A globulus, followed by M. philippensis and M. philippensis. So like phenol, a similar pattern value as well as total antioxidant activity was seen in total tannin content as well. Interestingly, TFC was much higher in B. ascorpia extract, followed by Soria robusta, E. globulus, M. philippensis, and A. mexicana. Thus, TPC, TTC, and TFC were higher in all the extract except A. mexicana. The antioxidant potential of the extract was evaluated through the DPPH scavenging method as well, and M. philippensis and E. globulus extract were able to reduce it by 93% and 92% respectively. However, A. mexicana exhibited little lower DPPH inhibition that was around 20.10 to 32.31 at 200 microgram per ml of extract treatment. So the tested metabolite usually belong to phenolic class of secondary metabolites, which are known for their antibacterial or antimicrobial activity, and usually metabolite of plant origin activate SAR, phytoalexins, and pathogens related protein are activated, and other defense enzyme is also activated in host plants. Thus, the induction of defense in rice leaf before Jew inoculation justify the role of extract as an elicitor for activating antioxidant enzyme and the other compound as well. Then we have gone for FTIR analysis of the plant extract, where we found that, and this is the spectrum of FTIR analysis, and there are various functional groups were detected at various wavelengths, particularly OH, CH, CC, NH, and that include CN functional group were observed, which designate the presence of various metabolites into the plant extract. So then dual peak of the CH probably indicate the compound related to aldehyde and alkane. And finally, we can say that the detection of OH, CH, CC, NH, CH, and CN group in leaf sample of plant indicate the possible nature of compounds such as phenolics, amine, alkane, and aldehyde, which somehow are related to secondary metabolite which participate in antimicrobial activity of the compound. So in conclusion, what we can see that the priming with the plant extract gave evidence as an inducer of resistance against bacterial blight of rice. The tested extract decreased the disease incidence as indicated by the lesion length. Higher chlorophyll fluorescence in extract treated rice leaf was observed, which suggests photosystem 2 integrity and its protection from the Jew. Enzyme activity like GPS, CAT, SOD, GR, and total protein content were evaluated, and the disease severity was minimized, thereby inducing resistance in rice. However, the membrane damage effect of Jew were observed to be higher in control on the final day of assessment. Conversely, the presence of major phytochemicals in the extract, such as phenol, tannin, flavonoid, and antioxidant activity, was confirmed significantly higher in all extract treated except A. mexicana. FTIR analysis also confirmed the presence of various functional groups indicating different metabolite in the plant leaf extracts. Finally, we assume that the plant extract could boost resistance capacity against BB disease. Further experiments should be performed to access the defense marker gene expression in rice during treatment to understand deep insight into the defense pathway. So thank you for the opportunity.